A young girl shapes her identity through hard work and determination, receiving praise and encouragement from her parents. They see great potential in her while being mindful not to apply too much pressure given her youth. The girl contemplates her future possibilities with optimism. The narrative shifts to introduce Bianca Adegina, a skilled Valkyrie who expertly handles monster threats and shows compassion towards civilians. Her reputation grows as she becomes the youngest S-class Valkyrie, breaking records and inspiring others with her dedication to protecting people. Reality sets in as the path forward becomes more challenging. Despite waking up early and working harder than others, success becomes more elusive. What was once considered special talent now feels ordinary against the backdrop of a growing world. The scene transitions to Mizuki, a beautiful city known for its bright lights and kind residents. Two characters discuss their experiences there, including their eating habits and energy consumption while waiting for someone. Communications with Vita reveal information about travel between towns and restrictions on movement. The conversation hints at deeper mysteries surrounding the Jujutsu war and potential secrets about the gods of Mars. A request for help emerges regarding preparations for guests arriving at the dojo. The situation involves a sister who won a preliminary round and is returning to Mizuki, coinciding with the dojo's reopening. Characters visit local shops to collect reserved items and commemorative badges for the dojo's special event. The exchange office is noted for its impressive collection of rare items that could prove useful later. Tension builds as suspicious activities around the dojo suggest potential conflict. Discussion of shadow monsters and their elimination reveals complex relationships between various factions and the dojo's connection to an organization called Akari. A tense negotiation unfolds at a dojo where someone offers to pay double the previous amount to acquire it. Rather than accepting money, the dojo representatives propose a challenge, either arm wrestling or hand-to-hand combat. They specifically recommend arm wrestling to minimize potential injuries. Stakes are established for the competition. If the challenger wins, they get the dojo. If they lose, they must swear to never bother the dojo again. The challenger dismissively suggests they don't want to be accused of bullying a young person, but agrees to arm wrestling. The arm wrestling match begins with tense exchanges. The challenger is soundly defeated, and their arm is injured, leading to anger and accusations. They demand explanations and threaten retaliation, but are ultimately forced to retreat. After the confrontation, a character named Bianca is praised for protecting the dojo. Theresa arrives and expresses interest in having a match with Bianca, noting her status as the youngest S-class Valkyrie. The atmosphere shifts from confrontational to sporting. Discussion turns to the limitations of their avatar forms in the Mars system, with acknowledgement that these forms restrict abilities and can influence personality. The characters note how they sometimes act more childishly than intended while in these forms. A new character joins for practice matches, demonstrating impressive skills. The focus shifts to training and preparation for upcoming competitions, with various participants showing different levels of comfort and ability in their combat roles. A serious incident occurs during what appears to be a competition match. Someone intervenes to prevent a tragedy when a fighter continues attacking after their opponent is already defeated. This leads to questions about special abilities and breaking barrier rules. The scene concludes with the revelation that a character named Azita has been manipulating events as an experiment to gather data on exceptional cases. They discuss how this intervention changed the original timeline but maintained the overall flow of historical events. An anomalous situation has occurred where time has mysteriously stopped within the system. A spatial coordinate gap exists that remains unaffected by this time stoppage, similar to a previous incident. This unusual phenomenon appears to be beyond normal capabilities within this world. A new character introduces herself as Dr. Azita, a maintenance worker for the Yumeoibito system. She confirms the others are not system members and expresses her desire to be extracted from the quantum computer housing the system. The current frozen state of the world is apparently her doing to achieve this goal. The forced system suspension has created some bugs, manifesting as shadow monsters. Dr. Azita dismissively claims these are user problems rather than issues with her work, showing a rather cavalier attitude toward the consequences of her actions. There are two methods to contact Hyperion 11. Temporary emergency calls from Prometheus for Vita, though extended contact risks being targeted, and public phone calls utilizing Vita's backdoor access. Special Vita coins serve as keys for the Kazuki shuttle system. A medical team is standing by to provide treatment once time resumes flowing normally. The non-residents of this world retain their ability to act during the time stoppage, leading to discussions about the supernatural nature of their current situation. Tensions arise regarding class distinctions and abilities, particularly concerning A-class status. Deep-seated frustrations about talent, hard work, and recognition come to the surface, revealing complex dynamics between characters of different skill levels. The scene shifts to an extraterrestrial location, marking freedom from the restrictive system. The Avatar Optimization module becomes a point of discussion between Vita and Dr. Azita, highlighting their different approaches to system functionality. A new logout system has been implemented, allowing users to pause and return to reality via phone. This feature was upgraded from an original endgame command, though previous forced logouts had serious side effects, including unconsciousness and mental instability. The scene opens with a discussion about login restrictions and blacklisting. A maintenance worker named Azita confirms that Rita has been blocked from accessing the system, with her identification code blacklisted. Any new accounts Rita creates will be automatically blocked due to someone with higher authority implementing these restrictions. A conversation reveals that while the special barrier cannot be removed, other interfering elements can be cleared. The system's purpose is explained. It exists to guide dreamers through historical truths to find the correct path. The quantum computers and dreamer system are described as being fundamentally connected to an individual's purpose. The focus shifts to unlocking encrypted records from the Jujutsu Kaisen War. Azita explains discovering Rita's identity through hacking failure records and IP address tracking. The overlapping attributes in the encryption keys are discussed as records are successfully unlocked. The mission becomes clearer, investigating the cause of the Jujutsu Kaisen War through multiple significant historical moments. To succeed, accessing important encrypted information is crucial. While direct interference isn't possible, special assistance can be provided to help navigate these historical events. The scene transitions to preparation for the mission. A system is established to record current time and place while exploring the Jujutsu Kaisen history. A specialized phone interface is created to access historical records, functioning like a backdoor to the system. The setting moves to the lively Jujutsu Kaisen Hall. Concerns arise about Ritoste's potential interference with participants. The importance of maintaining timeline integrity while gathering intelligence is stressed, particularly regarding events on day 32. The situation intensifies with cries for help, indicating Retost has already begun acting. The group must respond while balancing their investigative objectives with the need to protect others, creating tension between different approaches to handling the situation. Conflicting reports emerge about Retoste's locations, with witnesses placing him in different areas simultaneously. This raises questions about his abilities and creates confusion among those trying to track him. The investigation becomes more complex as testimonies contradict each other. The group formulates a plan to split up and search for Ritost, considering his unusual abilities. Teams are organized based on power balance, with careful consideration given to partner pairings. The mission moves forward with heightened urgency and strategic planning. An interaction begins between two characters discussing the nature of villains. One character, referred to as Shinsetsu Accused, establishes a sisterly relationship with another character named Coralie. They are preparing to embark on some kind of journey together, though time appears to be limited. The conversation reveals tension between the characters. Despite Coralie's claims about her tale being merely decorative, there are underlying concerns about being wary of each other. The discussion turns to investigating someone named Retost and their connection to a past event called the Jujutsu Kaysen, where there are conflicting rumors about someone's fate. An encounter occurs with some bullies who are playing knights. One character intervenes by pretending to be a demon king named Coralie and uses creative intimidation involving a shadow monster story to help resolve the situation peacefully. This showcases clever problem-solving rather than direct confrontation. Personal history emerges about a complicated relationship with a sister, including fights and separation. One character joined the Jujutsu Kaisen hoping to inspire their sister, but this led to conflict. The lack of contact since then has caused worry and uncertainty about forgiveness. A poignant story unfolds about a pet named Toto nearing life's end. Despite the possibility of using something called the Black Flame for eternal life, there is a philosophical discussion about accepting death as natural and inevitable, leading to emotional conflict between characters with different views on mortality. The narrative shifts to discussing how families reconcile without formal ceremonies, through simple acts like sharing meals and watching movies together. Despite intense fights, there remains an underlying concern for family members' well-being that transcends conflicts. The scene transitions to a domestic setting with dinner and movie plans. A photo frame triggers memories of childhood with Toto, reflecting on personal growth. The story then moves to a new location where characters are searching for Retost, discovering an adventure-related carving that suggests more challenges ahead. A tense search begins for Retost inside a building with a barking dog. Initially, there is debate about how to enter, with some suggesting forceful methods like kicking down doors or using a hammer. The group ultimately decides to take a gentler approach, though this decision seems unusual coming from a top student. Upon entering, the scene is eerily quiet, with the previously vocal dog now silent. The room appears empty with no sign of Retost. A plan forms to potentially use the dog to lure Retost out and gather information about a missing sister. During a thorough search, a drawer with less dust than its surroundings draws attention. A crucial discovery is made, a bottle with names that appear to be participants in the Jujutsu Kaisen. Notably, some names are crossed out in red pen, suggesting Retost may be systematically targeting people from this list. The searcher recognizes one erased name as their sister's, connecting Retost to her disappearance. The scene shifts to a conversation between Helia and Bito about emotional tensions within their team. Helia explains this conflict differs from previous disagreements. Rather than being angry at Coralie, she acknowledges her own stubbornness and learned anger, showing signs of self-reflection. The narrative delves into memories of Bianca, the eternal Valkyrie, and reflections on what it means to be a warrior. Through flashbacks to Durandal at age 12, deep questions about protecting a beautiful world and the meaning of being a Valkyrie are explored. A discussion unfolds about Durandal's legendary feat of using herself as an anchor for the world's bubbles. Ms. Rita explains this was only possible due to special conditions and emergency circumstances, emphasizing that modern technology reduces the need for individual heroics. The scene transitions to an interaction between Arya and Susanna-senpai, revealing mutual admiration. Susanna discusses creating educational content based on personal experiences, particularly focusing on recovering from failures and mistakes rather than just successes. A deep philosophical discussion unfolds about the nature of effort and talent. The conversation explores how ordinary people can improve themselves while pursuing their dreams, using the metaphor of a sunflower that cannot become the sun but can grow into its own excellent form. This highlights the beauty in being authentic rather than forcing oneself to be something else. The dialogue shifts to discussing inventors and innovation, noting how significant breakthroughs often come from those who persevere, despite critics claiming their efforts are futile. The conversation emphasizes that while the future is unpredictable, choosing to pursue seemingly impossible goals with limited time demonstrates remarkable courage. The scene transitions to a touching moment where assistance is provided to someone in need. A card is given that will help secure education and future independence. The interaction reveals compassion and a desire to help others become self-sufficient, showing a marked contrast in character development. A rescue sequence occurs with someone calling for help. The focus shifts to protective actions and heroic intervention, demonstrating quick thinking and bravery in a dangerous situation. The rescue leads to revelations about targeted attacks on participants. A dramatic confrontation reveals dark truths about past actions, including the erasure of a sister's name and multiple deaths. The scene intensifies with emotional revelations about weakness and strength, leading to physical conflict. The confrontation escalates as deeper motivations are exposed. Discussions of innocence, weakness, and the justification of actions create tension. Plans for eliminating participants come to light, adding urgency to the situation. Internal struggles surface regarding self-worth and capability. Comparisons to others spark intense self-reflection about talent, effort, and acceptance of one's true nature. The mental battle between self-acceptance and desire for improvement reaches a critical point. The narrative culminates in a powerful moment of friendship and support. Despite personal doubts and self-hatred, companions refuse to abandon their friend. The scene emphasizes the enduring nature of genuine connections and emotional bonds. A series of numbered events takes place in sequential order, from the 9th through the 12th occurrence. The events flow smoothly one after another, with minimal time gaps between them, suggesting a structured and organized progression of activities. The scene shifts to the 33rd floor, where Mizuki is present during the Jujutsu Kaysen event. A status update confirms everyone's safety, with Yumeo Ebito coordinating with teachers. Helia's safety is specifically noted, and the situation remains calm. A minor wound is reported, but appears insignificant. A concerning situation develops regarding Helia, prompting a suggestion to return to the spaceship and redo the current loop. Despite concerns about losing progress, Helia's well-being is deemed more important than preserving information. Previous experience suggests recreating the loop would not be overly problematic. The discussion turns to behavioral changes, noting increased activity levels possibly influenced by Helia. A game console appears, with an offer to allow graduation upon completing its hardest level. This leads to playful banter about game confiscation and skill levels. The conversation shifts to a previous incident involving Retost, who had apparently fled the scene. Actions were taken involving a public phone and coordination with Yumeo Ebito. This prompts deeper discussion about personal growth, comparing individuals to unreachable stars. The dialogue explores the dynamics of partnership and mutual understanding. Past instances of support during difficult times are recalled, including handling waterlogged reports and skipping classes. The conversation highlights how partners naturally deepen their bonds through shared experiences. A flashback reveals the first meeting between two characters at a training ground. One observes the other persistently training with a robot despite repeated failures, showcasing determination and resilience in the face of difficulty. This memory holds significant meaning in their relationship. The narrative concludes with insights about personal growth and partnership. Video game metaphors are used to discuss overcoming challenges, emphasizing that while strategies can be shared, individual effort is still required for success. The relationship between partners is affirmed through mutual support and understanding. The scene ends with positive news about Helia regaining consciousness. Her condition is compared to having run 20 laps, and she maintains her usual demeanor, making characteristic jokes. The mood is lighthearted, as various gaming references are made, including a comparison to clearing a difficult game level with restrictions. A conversation begins about a minor disagreement between two Valkyries regarding various aspects of their adventure, including terminology and actor enjoyment. Despite their differences, they manage to find their own unique way of communicating and understanding each other. The discussion shifts to more serious matters as they reveal that while investigating the 31st Jujutsu Kaysen, although no crucial information was obtained, significant events occurred that needed to be addressed. The atmosphere grows tense as they prepare to discuss these developments. The conversation turns to concerns about Shinsetsu's well-being. It's revealed that Shinsetsu is currently safe, but has been accused of Retosto's murder in the ring. This leads to an explanation about how these events exist within a historical fragment, meaning actions within it won't cause temporal paradoxes. A deeper philosophical discussion emerges about the nature of historical recreation and the value of life. Despite the events being part of a system that reproduces history, the importance of each life and death remains significant, regardless of whether they can change the actual course of history. The focus shifts to Retoste's actions and motivations. There are signs of his movement, potentially connected to artifacts under investigation. A past incident is recalled where Ritoste spoke of serious sins and his desire for atonement, suggesting deeper implications for the 33rd Jujutsu War. The group begins formulating plans to address the current situation. They discuss limitations of time-stopping abilities and the importance of protecting dream users. The conversation reveals the complex relationship between users, attached data, and system maintenance. A strategic plan is developed involving multiple parties. The group decides to split up, with some focusing on protecting dreamers, others gathering players in the ring, and some investigating Retoste's potential locations. They emphasize the importance of careful coordination and communication. A discussion begins about fighting doubters and seeking help. Azita's role is discussed. While she cannot directly change history, she can support others. There are debates about creating tools and machines that could predict suspect locations or fulfill user requirements within reason. The feasibility of obtaining future timeline data is considered, though variables could affect predicted outcomes. The conversation shifts to tracking down Retost, who had an incident at a dojo. A first-generation Dominator weapon was involved. Information about Retost's whereabouts is being traded, with some demanding special edition items like King Road and Human Road in exchange for details. There's discussion about Dominator weapons that can measure emotions and crimes in real time. The search for Retost continues as the group realizes a change in strategy is needed. Rather than gathering endless information, they decide to use elimination methods while connecting with dream lovers to predict Retost's likely actions. Abu, a warrior, warns them against pursuing Retost and reveals concerning information about his friend Hazan's involvement. The situation intensifies as they discover Hazan is in danger after encountering what appears to be Retost's henchmen. The group rushes to help, with discussions about various allies including Yumeo Obito and Theresa. Combat ensues with monsters and opponents moving under Retost's command. After a confrontation, they meet Hazan, who turns out to be different than expected. The group discusses the nature of friendship and trust, particularly regarding Avu's tendency to use friends as tools. Personal histories of betrayal and friendship are shared as they plan their next move. The situation escalates as Retost appears, revealing that targeting Hazan was merely bait to draw out the group. A tense confrontation follows, where Retost's true motivations and character are questioned. The group finds themselves in a time-sensitive situation, with reinforcements potentially arriving within minutes. The confrontation reaches a critical point as Retost's choices and actions are challenged. A significant revelation occurs about the group being outsiders who have knowledge of future events. They issue a warning to Retost, suggesting his current actions could alter his predicted fate. A tense confrontation unfolds as one party attempts to prove the validity of their chosen path. Despite initially dismissing their opponent as someone who speaks meaninglessly, they discover a deeper connection to someone named Ritosuto, who commands significant respect among the group. This respect leads them to seek understanding rather than outright denial of the situation. A haunting dream is described where light means death and darkness conceals truth. In this dreamscape, a terrifying creature emerges, giving birth to what becomes known as the Shadow Curse, a power more effective than conventional weapons. This revelation leads to the shocking realization that they are facing the original creator of the Shadow Curse. The situation escalates as the mission shifts to buying time. The Shadow Curse wielder displays unusual powers, suggesting they haven't yet shown their full capabilities. A confrontation ensues, leading to unexpected consequences for those involved, particularly affecting someone named Helia. The narrative shifts to themes of personal growth and determination. Despite facing destructive energy, there's encouragement about becoming stronger through hard work. The dynamic between opponents evolves as they navigate their strengths and weaknesses in this confrontation. The conflict reaches a critical point where retreat becomes necessary. Plans have gone awry, leading to a decision to return to Hyperion 11 for developing countermeasures. The situation at the dojo remains precarious, with 11 participants still unaccounted for outside. The focus shifts to a medical crisis involving Coralie after leaving the Mars system. Dr. Tesla expresses concern about unexpected developments in the Dream Orbit system, where NPCs have begun deviating from their programmed histories and affecting reality in unprecedented ways. The narrative explores the concept of different types of miracles, those achieved through natural talent versus persistent effort. This philosophical discussion connects to Helia's determination to find a solution that saves everyone, despite the seemingly impossible odds. The situation moves toward a crucial meeting with Master Theresa to determine next steps. There's urgency to act quickly, with system adjustments completed and various parties preparing for immediate action. The fate of Coralie remains a significant concern for those involved.